Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like today's guest, Melissa Graag from Stone Carley in St. Louis, Missouri. We help business owners enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transition ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Welcome to the Exit Plan Show, Melissa. Thank you for joining us.
Sure.
We are going to start out, let's talk about your education and your background there, and then your career path up until now.
Sure. I started out in investment banking. So I worked for a boutique investment bank firm in St. Louis.
Okay.
Basically helping companies sell their business or buy other businesses. And from there, I had done a lot of market research to kind of help understand what the value of companies were out in the market when you do like an auction process or something like that. And so what I was looking at is then moving into doing valuation as more of a full-time job. So you can do valuations for estate planning. So when somebody wants to either gift shares to their children, and then there's also valuations for understand the value of your company to sell. So you kind of get a better idea of how to price it. And then there's also valuations in the context of a dispute. So it'll be like litigation. Either family members will start to argue about a company and maybe one wants to get bought out and one wants to stay, or it could be a lot of different partners. And so it was a lot of different areas, but then I decided to focus on valuation, which then got me into litigation, which is basically providing the valuation in the context of a court situation. So I would actually testify to the value of a company, either in the midst of a divorce. So, you know, if a husband and wife own a company and they're getting divorced, and the court will only let one person keep that company. Or partners disagree and somebody needs to continue on with the business.
We just met yesterday. Could you tell me, how would the people that know you the best, your friends, how do you think they'd describe you personally?
Well, I think that a couple things. I think I'm a pretty good listener. I think that's helpful in this business. And I'm very direct. So I listen to what, you know, a business owner's issues are, and then very directly and simply kind of give them some options. Because a lot of times I don't know the best direction for a business owner, either in an exit position or in growing their business. But if you give them the options and tell them some ideas, then they have a better path to go down.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit more about Stone Carley? I know it's a large firm, but just explain a little bit more about what they do, services they offer.
Well, Stone Carley actually offers all of the services any individual would need in an exit planning strategy. And so we provide accounting and tax services, audit services to companies that are trying to grow their business. We're very heavily involved in the startup community in St. Louis. So not only valuing startup companies, but providing them with some help and services in order to grow their business. Then you kind of get to businesses where they're a little bit more mature. So they either need to start investing some of their proceeds, and we have financial planners and such, and ways that they can invest their money. And then we have the valuation piece. So you would value a company in order to know how to sell it or how much to sell it for. And then you look at the exit strategy. So we'll help companies sell their business and move on to the next phase of their life, invest that particular money, monetize the business. So sometimes it involves selling to an outside party, but it also could just mean trying to get that wealth further on down to generations. And so we help with all of those pieces.
Do a lot.
Yes.
What do you think differentiates you from some of the other firms around here?
Well, I think having all of those services under one roof is very helpful for a business owner, because what you have is you have all of these professionals that can come together and discuss what's really helpful for the client. And so the business owner has certain goals that they want to meet. They have certain ways that they want to go about conducting business. And you have all of these professionals that come by with different perspectives and can provide the business owner with some suggestions suggestions of how to either, grow to the point that they would be comfortable with a sale, or potentially move that down the path to their children, and how does that work. And so I think having it all under one, I can be in the middle of having a conversation with a business owner and they say, well, I'm really more interested in this, this aspect. I need to plan my money, or, how much am I going to have when I retire? And we have a professional that we can just get on the phone right then and say, come on to the conference room, let's sit down and maybe give more information. So we don't have to seek outside a lot of times.
It's a lot faster.
A lot faster.
And a lot more coordinated, sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. How about you personally? I know you like valuations. Is there any certain aspect of that you enjoy more than other parts?
I really enjoy either helping a company kind of transition and in any respect. So I like a lot of the litigation work. I like dealing with partners that are not quite getting along, and making them understand what the process of valuing a company is. Everybody comes with this idea of what they think their company is worth. It's usually not really the reality of it.
It's usually kind of high, isn't it?
It's usually kind of high, or it's a wish of what they would like it to be worth when they sell it. But it's helpful to give them a better perspective of what that means. And so I think in a litigation standpoint, you're trying to prove that you have really looked at this company and you've made some judgment calls and you've looked at the industry and you're standing up in court and saying, this is what I believe the value is. And so you usually have to be pretty secure in your background, your experience, in order to do that to a judge or jury and have them say, okay, I think that's right.
Okay. And where do you get the energy to do all that?
Every case is so different that it's actually, it's kind of fun to get into a case and see what all the different dynamics are, to understand the parties. A lot of these situations are so dramatic and contentious, so you have these people that have built their lives around this business but now are not getting along. And so coming in and just kind of having a more cool personality and just laying the facts on the table, I think it's like a puzzle or game every day. So it's like, well, what's today going to bring?
Who's going to call or walk in the door? And last question, if you could give business owners one tip about anything to do with exit planning, what do you think that would be? I
think the most interesting part of getting ready to sell your business, or to do anything, grow it, sell it, start a business, is getting a third party's opinion. So we have business owners that spend their entire lives just wrapped up in this industry or this small piece of an area of business, and they can't see anything else. They can't see any other perspective. And so when you have a financial person or an accounting person come in and kind of look at it from a different perspective, you will see what a buyer may see when they go to purchase your company or to even look at your company. So understanding what drives the value in a business, understanding maybe even what are the skeletons in the closet, that it's much better to just open up all of Pandora's box and say, here's the good, the bad, and how can we spin the ugly. But I don't think you can see that when you're really involved. So getting that third party in the context of anything, of a valuation, of an M&A advisor, of an accountant, anybody that kind of looks at it from the outside and says, here's a couple things I would work on. The business owner might have no idea. And it would maybe get them a higher selling price when they go to market.
They like hearing that.
Yes.
All right. That's a fabulous interview. You're outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Melissa Graag. She's with Stone Carly in St. Louis, Missouri. For more information about Melissa and her firm, please check out the show notes for this episode on our website.